Risers, welcome to a Mustang update with Cadbury. I'm going to take you through a few different video clips showing some progress along the way and a kind of funny moment, kind of not funny moment, where he actually grabs my glove and scares himself. So that'll be coming up in a little bit. So first up, what's happening here is I'm starting to make progress with getting closer to him and starting to establish what I call hand target touches, or like a hand touch. Horses usually in the field, they greet each other by sniffing noses, but that doesn't really work for the horse and the human relationship. So instead I just reach out my hand and I offer him to sniff my hand. So here you can see he's getting curious and he's starting to be at a place where he can reach out and touch, and you're going to see that get better. Now what's interesting about horses, and a key learning that you're going to see happening, is that horses can go from being scared, which is definitely what he was in the beginning, to then as they start getting a little bit more brave and getting curious, they start to get a little bit more confident, and then they can go into a dominance phase where they try to dominate the thing that used to scare them. So for example, that could be they start to stomp at it, bite it, grab it, they try to push it, hurt it. And we see this with horses with various things. So for example, horses sometimes start off being scared of cows, but then as they get more confident, they actually start to push them around and can even chase them in the field and things like that once they realize that they can be dominant over it. Or you can see that little deflated unicorn that's in the video here. It's a toy, so they can pick it up and move it and just have something to move around. And in the beginning, they can be nervous of it and wary of it, but then they can become dominant of it and they actually bite it, throw it, things like that. It's just part of their nature and how they operate, how they learn, and how they can develop confidence. And you're going to see an example of that when he actually grabs my glove and throws it away, which comes up in, I believe, the next clip there. And then in this clip, what you're seeing is just kind of the beginning phases of him starting to get more comfortable with me reaching out my hand for that touch. He's doing really well at tracking me, meaning I'm moving around him left, right, and he is doing a great job of understanding that he's to follow me and to stay interested and curious. That's what I'm seeking. That's what I'm asking him to do. And then there he did a little hand touch, so that I'm just kind of walking away and giving him a little break and letting him really think about that and realize, like, yeah, I didn't hurt you or anything. I'm just trying to start to get some touches. So here you can see him a little bit closer up, asking for that reach out, that little sniff. And you can see he's still pretty nervous, like he kind of touches and then he reaches back. And what's going to be important to understand too for this video is that I have not used any food in his training. So he has access to a big giant round bale with lots of unlimited hay. It's you can see there's snow in the background against the arena, but it's kind of muddy, and that's because there was a little bit of a thaw. Definitely as winter's settling in, we have this like freeze thaw, snow one day, above freezing the next day. And it can be a little bit uncertain, but grass is definitely not growing. So there isn't anything super yummy that I can give him. Mustangs, they don't know what things like carrots or apples are. They don't know what treats are. So that doesn't work to offer it to them, because horses, they can't actually throw up. And if they have something seriously going on in their tummy that's upsetting them, they can't really get rid of it easily. And it can be a big problem. It's often called colic in horses, and it can be life-threatening for horses, and they can require surgery and things like that. So it's in their nature to not want to eat anything unfamiliar or something that might be unsafe for them. So I can't just offer him, like, bring out a carrot or something like that. It doesn't actually work that way. So instead, I'm just using my body language and just kind of positioning myself around him, using my body to be able to put pressure on or take pressure off, all of those little details. And I really enjoyed using this kind of process with Aoife, who was my last Mustang that I worked with. And I did a very similar kind of process of mostly just kind of hanging out and using my body language, not using any food for rewards. it moves things slower than in the summertime when I can use grass as a reward, which makes them a little bit more curious, a little bit more engaged. It definitely boosts that motivation a little bit. But it's been fun to not have those tools as well and literally just have me. It's been a different kind of process, which is very different than how a lot of other people train Mustangs or gentle them, tame them. A lot of people either use pressure and release tactics where they literally put a rope around them and do all sorts of things and essentially kind of flood them almost, meaning they kind of make them be touched until they accept it and things like that. There's also positive reinforcement trainers where they use something like grass as rewards and then transition them onto cookies and things like that, which is something that I do. But here I'm just using my body language, trying to get a really good foundation started. So check this out, this moment here. He's like, I'll touch and then I'm going to grab. Oh my gosh, it moved. And of course he runs away because he scares himself that my glove was taken off. Thank goodness it was just my glove, so there's no harm there. There was no hand attached to it because that could have been not so good. So the biting and grabbing sometimes for horses is a little bit of lack of confidence starting to turn into bravery and a little bit of them being confident and turning into dominance. It's not that he's trying to be mean or anything like that. He's trying to be curious, brave, explore, figure out if the thing's going to hurt him or not hurt him, because he's still not okay with me petting him or anything like that. He's doing great at turning and facing me and following me around, all of those pieces. But we're trying to get this better where I'm offering that hand touch and for him to understand that I'm looking for a soft touch. So what I'm trying to do here is I don't want to correct him in a way that makes him feel more scared, because you can already see he's pretty jumpy still. He hasn't really figured out 100% yet that I can be trusted. He's a little all over the place and reactive. So I don't want to, like, let's say he goes to nip at my hand, I don't want to swat at him in a way that's going to be like, see, you are scary, and be really upset and run away. Instead, I'm trying to encourage just a touch and then a quick takeaway of my hand, so that way we can end up with some gentle touches and try to finish on that really gentle one. But if he is coming to bite me, I have to be kind of quick with my hand, whether I'm going to shake him off my space or take my hand away so he understands that's not what he's supposed to do and immediately reintroduce. But I don't want to teach him to become aggressive and biting. And so what can happen with horses that were scared is that as they become confident and then they become more dominant, meaning they will try biting and grabbing and things like that. If I cower away or I'm like, oh, I'm upsetting the horse, I'm going to leave, then I can accidentally teach him that if he starts biting at people, that they'll leave and they'll go away. And then that can become his solution of, oh, okay, these people, they stress me out because I don't know what they're all about. And so I'm going to try to bite them. And then if you don't leave, but let's say you used to leave or you did that a few times, then they can get even more assertive, more dangerous behavior because they're thinking, okay, usually if I try to bite you, you leave. So I'm going to try to bite you even harder or more assertively and get you to leave, because he hasn't understood yet that I'm actually just wanting to help him and wanting to realize that domestic horse life can actually be pretty good because you're going to have an unlimited buffet of hay there all the time. You never have to worry about your hay, your water. We'll get your feet done so that way you're comfortable on your feet. I'll take care of any rubs and sores and all those little things that can happen. He doesn't understand all these pieces yet. So once he realizes that he can trust me, the biting will go away. And I'm just trying to encourage him to figure out that it's soft touch that I'm looking for and stay away from the bitiness. But horses can get there for different reasons, and it can just be a process of them learning from being scared to becoming confident and figuring out the little pieces along the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little segment of some different clips, and let me know if you guys learned something new. Thank you for watching.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.